What's up, my YouTube family? Sergeant Graybeard back with another Division 2 video. Today is Thursday, April 22nd, and as always, I hope this message finds you healthy and safe. In today's video, my friends, I'm going to be showing you a legendary skill build that I really enjoy using. This is something I'll use for either group or solo, and even though there are definite improvements that can be made or switches I'd like to make, it can still, without a doubt, get the job done. Now, if you happen to be new to the channel, first of all, welcome. Secondly, feel free to hit that subscribe button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family. And if you enjoyed this or found it helpful at all, take a quick second and hit that like button. It really does help us out. So as we start off, one thing I like to mention at the beginning of all of my build videos is the fact that this is just a template. This is how I like to run the thing. You may want to run it a little bit different. And my advice is really try a few things out and see which one works best for you. One of the best things about this game, in my opinion, is that there are so many different ways you can run with the skill build. I mean, I'm talking not only from the skills themselves, but from the talents on the bag to the gear that you're using. So again, take your time and really make this thing your own. Now, starting off with the specialization, my friends, we're running with Technician for a few reasons. The first of which being that it gives you a 12% damage bonus to drones, skill proxies, and robotics, and because we're running Legendary, we're going to be running into a bunch of those. And one of the other reasons is that this specialization gives you an extra skill tier. Now, for my build that you're looking at now, these are the best pieces I have. However, I would much rather have one of my core attributes in one of these pieces be weapon damage instead of skill damage because I'd still be at skill tier 6. Now moving on to the build itself, starting with the primary weapon, I'm running with the exotic AR, the Capacitor. There are a lot of different choices you have here. However, I'm running with this one because of its talent capacitance. You can see here shooting enemies builds stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5 skill damage. After 5 seconds, stacks decay 1 per second. However, for each skill tier, you gain 7.5 weapon damage, which is absolutely amazing. And that's why, my friends, you want to be at skill tier 6 with this build because it means right out of the gate, this weapon is giving you an extra 45% weapon damage with all of those skill tiers, and that really helps out a lot. Now, if you don't have the capacitor, I recommend running with your main rifle or whatever weapon that you have with the talent in sync. Here I have the named rifle that has perfectly in sync, but again, the talent is incredibly powerful. With this talent, hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a skill or damaging enemy with the skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds, and both damages are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. As far as the handgun goes, I'm running with the Maxim 9 because of its talent Perfect Spike, where headshots grant you 25% skill damage for 15 seconds, and in my opinion, it's great to swap between weapons so you're always getting these talents running. Moving on to the gear itself, you can see I have one piece of Wyvern, one Hannah U, 3 Empress International, and the Waveform holster. Starting off with the one piece of Wyvern, we're using that so we get that 10% skill damage bonus. Now, one thing I want to point out is in a lot of these pieces, I'm stacking skill haste and skill damage because these are the best ones that I have. However, how you stack them is really up to you. Now moving on to the body armor, it is the first piece of the Empress International gear set. We're running 3 pieces so we get those bonuses for skill health, skill damage, and skill efficiency. For the talent on this piece, I'm running with Kinetic Momentum. When in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1% and total skill repair by 2% up to 15 stacks per skill. And one thing I'd like to mention as we move on is all of these pieces are interchangeable, meaning if you have a better Hannah U piece for the chest, use that and roll whatever talent you want on it. These don't have to be in specific spots, but I love the combination of all these pieces. And of course, as I say that, we get to the holster, and because it's an exotic, this has to be in the same spot. And one thing I want to mention, this thing, first of all, is an absolute monster because of its talent alternating current. However, if you do not have it, I suggest a second piece of Hannah U so you're getting another skill damage bonus. Now, for those of you that may not have this holster as yet, it is in the general loot pool. I was actually talking to one of our subs yesterday. He said he got it in the summit on hard difficulty from one of the crates. So again, my friends, anywhere where the holster is targeted loot, that's what you want to hit up. Moving on to the knee pads, it's the second piece of the Empress International gear set. I'm stacking skill damage there. We have one piece of Hannah U for that skill haste bonus. On this one, I'm stacking skill haste as well. And then we get to the backpack, which is the third piece of the Empress International. And again, my friends, this is one of those spots where you have so many different options. For instance, if you have the named backpack force multiplier, which is a Hannah U backpack, I would recommend running with that and then switching your gloves to Empress International. And regardless of what bag you choose, I recommend running with the Talent Combined Arms, or if you have it, Perfectly Combined Arms, because it just puts out a ton of extra damage. For the skills themselves, I'm running with the Assault Drone and the Assault Turret. However, as I mentioned multiple times in this video, there are so many different ways you can run a skill build. This is how I like to run it, so hopefully it helped you out and it gives you a good baseline to build your own. Most of you know by now that one of my favorite aspects in making build videos is the communication we have here at the channel. So as always, my friends, please leave any tips or tricks or comments or questions, whatever it is, leave it down below, as my main goal here is to try to help you out in any way I can. Therefore, please feel free to leave any different variation that you may run in the comment section down below, because as all of you know, the main goal here is to help each other out regardless of where that information comes from. It's building that community where we work together. Having said that, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible support of this channel. It's just been amazing, and I sincerely appreciate your taking the time watching the content and, more importantly, being a part of the family. At this point, I'm going to let the rest of the video play out, but like I said at the beginning of this thing, if you're new here, you can hit that subscribe button. If you like this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, as always, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
An agent needs assistance.